going on, guys? I want to do a little introduction into a little series that I'm going to do. And before I kind of get into this, I want to talk about why I'm going to be doing this. There's actually two different reasons. First off, there's a guy on YouTube who I've gave a shout out before, but I want to give him another shout out because he deserves every bit of audience you could possibly get, and that is Chris, Prepared Mind 101. I had the pleasure of meeting Chris at SHOT Show. He unfortunately didn't make Blade Show this year. I would have liked to hang out with him again and talk knives and lights and gear and all kinds of stuff. But Chris is an awesome guy, and I'm going to put a link in the description box to his channel. Do yourself a favor, go check him out. He does awesome videos, all kinds of knife stuff, but also other things too, like flashlights. And like myself, Chris also likes a lot of Thrunite flashlights, and he did a little video comparing the Thrunite TN12 with the Fenix PD35, as well as another light too. I think a Nightcore model, which are all very comparable lights. I like that so much that I wanted to start a little series myself in doing these testing. So first of all, credit to Chris, all right, because he did do it first, and I always give credit where it's deserved. And you got to check out his videos. He did an awesome video on this. But I want to do a little series talking about these lights because these are very comparable. And I do a lot of Thrunite videos lately because I really like them. They make awesome flashlights. But people have also requested to do other flashlight reviews as well. So within this series, I'm going to do a full review on the PD35, but I'm going to focus really comparing both of these lights against each other because they are very comparable. And just like knives, when you get into the industry of flashlights, there's a lot of comparable lights. You know, okay, here's what I want to spend. Here's my options. Why would I pick one over the other? They all have different nuances. They all have different features. And for around the same price range, it's sometimes very hard to decide which light and or why. And it really comes down to what your personal needs are. And when I'm doing a review on something specifically like a flashlight, I may be talking about certain modes, and you have to really think about what you're going to use your flashlight for. It's cool to have certain features, but if you're not going to use them, there's no sense in having them, as well as certain features that would really benefit your specific needs. A great example of this are Swiss Army knives, okay, Victorinox knives. If you buy a huge model with 50 tools in it, and you find yourself only using 2 of them, throughout the months that you own this knife, it's probably better just to have a smaller model, right? And I get that specific question, nothing to do with this video, but I get that question quite often is, like what Victorinox should I really get? Look at every single tool and ask yourself, are you going to use this, or is there potential for you to actually use that tool? Like anything else, you should really carry the smallest, lightest, most affordable version of whatever tool you need to use. That can go for knives, lights, gear, whatever. All right, you don't need to carry extra stuff just to have it. As far as being prepared, that's a whole different thing. If you want to keep it in a bag or close by, just in case, that's one thing. But as far as like an EDC item, such as a flashlight or knife, tool, whatever, you really just want to carry the basics, whatever you're going to be using. So it's more comfortable for you to carry and use. But anyway, these lights are very comparable, and that's the purpose of this little mini series. I think I'm gonna do like 6 videos or so. I'm gonna show beam shots, talk about the lights, go into great depth and detail, all the way down to the dimensions, weight. We're gonna look inside the lights, everything. I want a really detailed little series comparing these 2 flashlights. Initial impressions, okay, after using both of these lights for an extensive amount of time, I do tend to lean towards the Thrunite. Just a little bit cheaper, which is always a bonus for anyone out there. No one wants to spend extra money. That's what kind of sends it over, to this side more than the Fenix. This is a fantastic flashlight, okay? A really good flashlight. But again, having the choices out there, it's really hard to choose. I may do a review on a knife and say this is a fantastic knife. There's another knife just like it for $10 more. Does that mean I don't want the more expensive one? No, I just prefer the cheaper one that's gonna perform just as good. So this first video, just kind of an introduction, talking about this a little bit. As far as the price difference, the TN12, if you go on Amazon, which tends to be the favorite, marketplace for flashlights, I do want to say one thing real quick. It's hard because there's so many awesome companies I really want to promote and I really want to support, such as Going Gear, Marshall. I mean, you guys saw the video I posted. Marshall's just an awesome guy, and there's other great people just like him too, and I love you guys to support these smaller companies. However, the other side of me, I always want to tell you guys to shop around. And I've preached that before. Do yourself a favor and always shop around, okay? If you want to spend a couple extra bucks supporting good people, head over to Going Gear and support them. But something like the Thrunites, I mean, obviously they're going to be a little bit cheaper. I mentioned this before. They do sell direct, right, to the customer. So that's where you're getting their savings. But anyway, at the end of the day, most of you guys, you know, you work very hard for your money and you don't want to waste it. And you know, even penny pinching, even if you're talking a $3 difference, you know, but then when you go up to $10, $15, $20 or more on price differences, that's when you really start scrutinizing it. And in today's economy, not everyone has money to throw away. So as far as these flashlights, Amazon tends to be the cheapest place. Also, obviously a source for Thrunite, specifically Fenix, you can get pretty much anywhere. Most dealers have Fenix flashlights, eBay, all that kind of stuff. But as far as Amazon, which tends to be the favorite you know, site for people buying stuff cheap, or as cheap as they can get it, the prices on these, the cheapest I found, the Thrunite TN12 was $49.95, free shipping of course, and the cheapest I found, the Fenix PD35, was $68. And that price ranges way up depending on what you want with it. There's packages for like 140 with, you know, extra batteries and chargers and all that kind of crap. But bare bones, as you're gonna get the, you know, lights, 68 plus and $49.95. So there is a little bit of a price difference there. When you're buying lights that are less than $100, the difference in price, I think, matters more. For example, if there's a, you know, in this case, you're talking about almost $20 price difference, right? A little bit less than 20 bucks. If you're talking about buying a light for $200, a $20 price difference doesn't make that much of a difference, right? But when you're under 100 bucks, you know, those little increments do matter more. So anyway, we're gonna go through this series and talk about both lights. Like I said, I've reviewed the TN12, so I'm not gonna bother doing a regular full review, but I have not done a full detail review on the PD35. So that's important throughout the series, do a full review on this. I'm also gonna be doing a realistic destruction test, okay? I'm not gonna go above and beyond and, you know, skip this down the road or anything like that. I'm gonna do realistic damage control to these flashlights, okay, to show what's, you know, realistically gonna happen in your life, such as falling out of your pocket. That's a realistic concern. Uh-oh, what if my light falls out of my pocket? Is it gonna break on me? Right, stuff like that. Yes, we'll do some waterproof tests. That, you know, tends to be, it's good for entertainment purposes. I'd say pretty much every flashlight out there can sit in the rain. It's fun to watch. It's really great to know, because a lot of you guys out there, even if you're buying, you know, $30, $40, $50 flashlights, you don't necessarily want to just get them wet just to be sure. So it's great to see someone else do it. And I have no problem doing that for you guys. It's all in the name of science, right? So it's all for the curiosity, and to make sure that you guys know what you're getting out there and whatever things that you're buying actually work. And it's awesome to see other people, you know, take a chance on breaking theirs, you know, just to make sure that you know they work. So yes, I'm going to very much focus on realistic damage, such as, you know, some water damage, dropping at normal heights, not slamming it on anything. I'm pretty sure both lights will fare well, but you just never know. I'm going to also focus on, like, as far as dropping, make sure I drop it straight on the head of the flashlight, because that can make a big difference. Even when I did the extreme test and I shot the other Thrunite, the T10S, I believe, that was a direct hit to the head. If you took the, you know, the battery out and you shot the body, you could shoot the body with a shotgun and it's not going to do anything. The flashlight, as long as the battery still fits in there. So there's definitely, you have to weigh entertainment to education. All right, a lot of that stuff, especially destruction tests, are entertainment, but some of it's educational. Speaking of which, a little bit off note or off subject here, but the Chris Thorne destruction test series that I was doing, I am going to continue that. There's about 3 or 4 more destruction tests I'm going to do for that series, but not right away. You'll see those down the road a little bit, because I have some other stuff like this that I want to do, as well as I got to get back to some knife reviews. So anyway, for this video, I just wanted to, you know, give you a heads up. This is what's going to be on the way as far as flashlight stuff, directly comparing these. There's some awesome flashlight companies out there. Thrunite is definitely one of my favorite. Olight is awesome. Fenix is awesome. Nightcore, 4.7s. There's a lot in the marketplace, and under $100, there's so many options. It's overwhelming. Once again, I want to encourage everyone who likes flashlights to head over to canopyroforums.com. Educate yourself, learn about them. If you're even remotely interested, you're going to really love that forum, and you know, learning all about flashlights, every aspect of it. Plus, there's people over there, they have their own light boxes, and I mean, the charts, it's overwhelming, the education on flashlights. So if this is of interest to you at all, as a hobby, besides just, you know, using them every day, you're missing out if you're not over there talking to those awesome guys and gals. All right, real quick recap here, since I did do a review on the TN12. I just want to show you what it comes with and then compare it to the Fenix. Get this stuff out of the way because the other videos are going to be so detailed. I don't want to, take time showing you what you get with the light. But people are always interested, of course, in packaging and accessories. So, Thrunite TN12, simple cardboard box. It's a thick, durable box, but just cardboard. Okay, of course, flashlight. I did put all this stuff back together so you guys can see what's in it. They all have batteries in it, which you're not going to get. Pretty much every flashlight doesn't come with batteries, with some exceptions, but just some foam packaging. Of course, your paperwork here. Do every bit of information you're going to want to know about the light. All right, as far as accessories, nice quality sheath for this light. I've talked about these before. Thrunite does do a really good job on their sheaths. If you do happen to use these, or flashlight holster, whatever you want to call it, I tend not to use these, but they are very good quality as far as that's concerned. Also, their lanyards, big fan of their lanyard systems, just works really well. Again, don't use them that often, but when I do, I'm happy with them. And then just 2 spare O-rings. All right, so that's the Thrunite. Now the Fenix, you see, cardboard box, little flint. I actually ripped that. It didn't come like that. I ripped it trying to open it. Great, they have all the information on the outside of the box. The Thrunite does not do that. But as far as storing, it is a less quality box. But it's nice to see all the information right on the outside. All right, so you don't really have to bust into it. This is more just marketing, so if it's hanging on a shelf at a store somewhere, you can kind of see what the deal is without having to open it and look at the paperwork. All right, so as far as the light, there's a light right here. Okay, so you see, still my battery in it. Here's the lights compared to each other, almost identical in looks. And like I said, we'll do some really good up-close comparisons throughout this series. But as far as Fenix holster / sheath, not going to fall apart. I don't like it as much as the Thrunite. But again, not a huge issue for me because I'm not using these very often. But you can see just the difference, and there's like a separate nylon piping around the edges here to keep it from fraying. So there is a difference in quality. Tiny little tag here where you actually have a big plastic D-ring on this one. Also a much bigger loop. All right, for the belt or bag, whatever you're going to be attaching it to. So as far as the holster / sheath, Thrunite definitely gets the win on this one, but the Fenix one is still completely functional. Just I like this one more. All right, as far as accessories on the Fenix, here's your lanyard, which is actually not too bad. I'm not sure which one I really like more, but again, I don't personally use these as much. I do like the round lanyard more than this flat cord, but yeah, not that big of a difference. They're both extremely functional. Fenix gets a little +1 on having a spare butt cap. Okay, the quick quickie, yeah, the clicky switch on the rear end. It's nice to have a spare one. All right, the Thrunite does not come with that, and then the same 2 O-rings. All right, so Thrunite wins on the sheath, but Fenix definitely gets props for the extra rubber tail cap because these do or can rip. Never happened to me before, but it is possible. It's always nice to have a spare one. As far as the paperwork on this, you get it in whatever language that is. There's your warranty information, a little advertisement for more stuff. Their paperwork is very nice. It does come in a few different languages, which is nice. All right, it's like a lot of stuff out there. You get a couple different versions depending on what you speak. So maybe a little bit more versatile in that sense. That's it for now. Just want to give you guys an introduction to this series that's coming up. I'm very excited to be comparing both these lights. And we're going to see what comes out to be the victor in the end. You have to consider every single aspect of the light. Pros and cons, we're going to make a list. It's going to go into great detail and depth for all the flashlight guys out there. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care.